In the frozen forests of war-torn Russia, survival was a battle of its own. Imagine being a young pilot, shot down behind enemy lines, legs shattered, with only sheer willpower between you and death. This is the story of Aleksey Maresyev, a man who crawled for 18 days through snow and wilderness, evading enemy patrols, living on tree bark and snow, facing pain most of us cannot imagine. His legs were later amputated, yet he returned to the skies with prosthetics, proving that the human spirit is far stronger than any physical limitation. If this story moved you, hit the like button, share it with friends, and subscribe for more incredible tales of courage. Your support helps us bring more stories of resilience, hope, and determination. Stories that remind us all what the human spirit can achieve, even against impossible odds. Aleksey Petrovich Maresyev was born on May 20th, 1916, in the small town of Kamyshin, Russia. From a young age, life was not easy for him. He suffered from poor health and frailty, but his spirit was stronger than most. He grew up in a country recovering from revolution and civil war, witnessing hardship, scarcity, and the immense struggle of ordinary people trying to survive. This early exposure to adversity built resilience within him, shaping the foundation of the man who would later defy death itself. By the time he reached adulthood, Maresyev had developed a determination to overcome his physical limitations. In 1937, he joined the Soviet Air Force, training as a fighter pilot. His instructors noticed his keen focus, discipline, and fearlessness. Despite not being the strongest physically, he excelled in his training, mastering aerial maneuvers and developing a tactical mind. His skill in the cockpit would soon be tested in one of the most brutal theaters of World War II. In 1942, the Eastern Front was a chaotic and deadly battleground. The Luftwaffe dominated the skies, and Soviet pilots faced overwhelming odds. Maresyev was flying a Yakovlev Yak-1 fighter aircraft, engaging enemy planes with courage and precision. He quickly distinguished himself, achieving multiple aerial victories. Yet fate has a way of challenging even the bravest souls. On April 5, 1942, during a combat mission near the Demyansk pocket, Maresyev's aircraft was struck by enemy fire. Smoke filled his cockpit, instruments failed, and he had no choice but to crash land in dense, enemy-controlled forests. The crash left him severely injured. Both legs were damaged, bones shattered, muscles torn, and mobility nearly impossible. Alone and in agony, he faced a choice: give in to despair or fight for survival. Maresyev chose the latter. For 18 days, he crawled through snow, mud, and broken terrain. Each movement was agonizing. Frostbite threatened his extremities, hunger gnawed at his body, and exhaustion weighed on him like an invisible hand. Yet he refused to surrender. He scavenged what little he could: tree bark, roots, snow for water, avoiding German patrols and making slow but steady progress towards Soviet territory. During this ordeal, Maresyev's mind became as critical a tool as his body. He meticulously rationed his energy, calculated each movement, and maintained focus despite delirium. He endured pain that would have broken most men. He kept hope alive through the image of returning to comrades, of fighting again, and of living to tell the story. This 18-day crawl through the wilderness stands as one of the most extraordinary feats of human endurance in wartime history. When he was finally found by Soviet partisans, Maresyev was near death. Transported to a medical facility, doctors worked tirelessly to save his life. However, the damage to his legs was irreparable. Both were amputated above the knee. Many would have surrendered to despair at this point, believing their life as a pilot, as a warrior, to be over. But Aleksey Maresyev was different. He had survived the impossible. He refused to let his spirit be broken. Maresyev's rehabilitation was grueling. Learning to walk with prosthetic legs was a monumental challenge. Each step was a test of patience, strength, and mental fortitude. The prosthetics of the time were rudimentary compared to modern standards. Yet Maresyev adapted. He practiced relentlessly, falling and rising again countless times, training his body and mind to synchronize with the artificial limbs. In doing so, he transformed a tragedy into an opportunity, redefining what it meant to be a fighter. In 1943, barely a year after his crash, Maresyev returned to combat, flying once again over the Eastern Front. He engaged enemy aircraft with the same determination and skill that had defined his career before the crash. The story of a double amputee pilot returning to the skies seemed unbelievable, yet it was reality. His colleagues and commanders watched in awe as he completed missions, proving that the human spirit could overcome even the harshest physical limitations. Maresyev's courage and skill did not go unnoticed. He was awarded the title of Hero of the Soviet Union, one of the highest honors available, recognizing his extraordinary bravery, resilience, and contribution to the war effort. His story inspired not only his fellow soldiers but countless civilians, becoming a symbol of perseverance in the face of adversity. It illustrated a truth often forgotten. The limits of the human body can be stretched, but the limits of the human spirit are boundless. Beyond his military achievements, Maresyev's story carries profound lessons about resilience, determination, and the psychology of survival. His ability to endure extreme pain, maintain hope under seemingly hopeless circumstances, and ultimately return to a life he loved, is a case study in human endurance. Psychologists and historians alike have studied his journey, examining how mindset, motivation, and sheer willpower can alter outcomes in life-threatening situations. His story also highlights the importance of community, care, and support. The Soviet partisans who rescued him, the doctors who fought to save his life, and the rehabilitation specialists who guided him through learning to walk again, all played pivotal roles. Survival is rarely a solitary endeavor. It is the combination of personal grit and the support of others that often determines whether someone thrives or perishes. Maresyev's legacy continued long after the war. He lived a full life mentoring younger pilots, sharing his experiences and exemplifying courage under fire. He became a motivational figure, demonstrating that obstacles, even the most severe, can be overcome with determination, focus, and resilience. His story transcends national boundaries, offering universal lessons about perseverance, hope, and the triumph of the human spirit. Today, his tale is not only a historical account, but a source of inspiration. In literature, his life inspired Boris Polvoy's novel, The Story of a Real Man, which captured the essence of Maresyev's courage and determination. Through books, documentaries, and historical accounts, millions have learned of his journey, and it continues to motivate people facing their own challenges. In reflecting on Maresyev's experience, one realizes that survival is not merely about physical endurance. It is about vision, purpose, and an unyielding commitment to one's goals. Maresyev's goal was clear: to survive, to return to his homeland, and to continue his duty as a pilot. Every agonizing movement through snow, every rationed bite of food, every breath of freezing air was directed toward that goal. His story also serves as a testament to human adaptability. Faced with a life-altering injury, Maresyev did not accept limitations imposed by circumstance. Instead, he adapted, learning to operate prosthetics, to fly again, and to perform at elite levels despite adversity. Adaptation, resilience, and determination. These are the pillars upon which extraordinary human achievements are built. The narrative of Aleksey Maresyev reminds us of the complex interplay between physical endurance, psychological resilience, and the human will. Extreme stress, injury, and environmental hardship reveal the limits of the human condition, yet Maresyev's experience shows that these limits are often self-imposed, breakable and expandable through courage and purpose. For modern audiences, his story resonates beyond military history. It speaks to anyone facing challenges, whether personal, professional, or physical. It teaches that suffering, while unavoidable, can be navigated with perseverance and a clear sense of purpose. The human capacity to endure and overcome is far greater than we often imagine. Maresyev's example also underscores the importance of hope in survival situations. Without hope, his 18-day journey through snow and forest would have been impossible. Hope provided him with the motivation to push forward despite excruciating pain, uncertainty, and fear. It highlights a psychological truth. Hope, when coupled with action, becomes a powerful survival mechanism. Even in the post-war years, Maresyev remained a figure of inspiration. He continued to serve, sharing his knowledge, mentoring, and embodying the principles that had guided him through his darkest hours. His story was not only about survival, but about living fully, purposefully, and courageously, even after tragedy. In conclusion, Aleksey Maresyev's life is a testament to the limitless potential of human resilience. From a young, frail man to a decorated pilot and symbol of perseverance, he demonstrated that the human spirit can endure, adapt, and triumph over even the most harrowing circumstances. His 18-day crawl through enemy territory, survival after catastrophic injury, and eventual return to combat exemplify courage, determination, and the extraordinary power of hope. His legacy continues to inspire, reminding us that no matter how insurmountable the obstacle, the combination of willpower, adaptation, and resilience can lead to triumph. Aleksey Maresyev's story is not just a tale of war. It is a story of the enduring human spirit, one that will resonate for generations to come.